of 100 plus, 120 plus members and the cluster farmer groups, and we are trying to do resilience building and something to do with restoration and regeneration. Now, yeah, I think this is now for now. I was introducing myself, right?
Do you want to say a little more about why you called this session? And I know we're going to present a bit more in a minute, but maybe just a few words about that.
Yeah. So the idea behind this is that when we look at this, the extent of climate emergence, ecological crisis, few people understand this, and those who understand this also acting becomes another issue because acting needs very many people to act. So we started a sort of a revolution or a movement to protect areas at risk, like river banks, like mountain slopes and landslides. Where we are in the middle of the Western Rift Valley of East Africa and part of the Congo Basin catchment. So the area is the part of the earthquake-prone area. Our grandfathers have told us in 1980s there was that serious earthquake that did a lot of disaster, and even in 1994. So this area needs a lot of response in terms of strengthening the ecological system. And above all, there are issues of landslides, floods, which happen every time and again. And these are associated with human action in terms of degrading the environment. And so we are trying to see how we can act in terms of climate action, encouraging people, opening the minds of people, that's mindset change, and opening space for people to learn and act, but also supporting the local people, the indigenous people, in terms of being able to access, for instance, tree seedlings, being able to access tools like hose, like big axe, those tools which are essential in terms of what they have to do if they are to protect the environment. Now, here we come with a model of permaculture and also indigenous knowledge. Permaculture is all about sustainable habitat, sustainable livelihood, sustainable designs for sustainability. Yeah, you know. So we are trying to see how, for instance, the pygmies, the Batwa, who they were displaced from the indigenous forested areas and brought to camps, to the communities where the environment is not favorable. But also we have realized that when you tamper with the natural systems, the Batwa have knowledge to sustain the environment in the forest and to take care of other biodiversities. But when they were removed, even the forest, the life in the forest changed. I remember the story of the Yellowstone River in the US. When these animals were removed at one time, the environment changed, the climate changed, the water system changed. So I think there was one of the presidents who thought of bringing them back. So, and when they brought them back, nature started working again. So we are trying to see how we can do this kind of restoration, and also doing of course, when we talk about the Batwa, the pygmies, we are not only talking about the Batwa of Uganda, but also those of Congo, and how we can build their capacity to bring indigenous knowledge on board. They have that knowledge as pygmies, which is hidden within themselves. So this can be tapped. For instance, they have told me how most of the plants in the forest are medicine. They know that. Mm-hmm. So how do we tap into this? They say during those days when they were staying in the forest, they could see how snakes, how these other animals are treating themselves using the herbs. They see that, and they stay with the animals. So Anyway, we are looking at how we can protect the environment, the areas which are at risk of landslides, like the mountain, and floods here have taken lives. Like, of course, this is climate change. In a broad day like this, you see water flowing from nowhere. It has not rained, and people die. We have those recordings and videos. So to mitigate this, of course, many people think maybe one time God will solve the problem. But it's not only about God, it's about us to act, to take care of the planet. Because when you dig deeper, you find that there are we have some sanctuaries which have been tampered with. We have those areas which people used not to go to, like cultural sites. Yeah, this is why actually we also bring in the issue of our cultural group, cultural dance and drama, to disseminate important messages through the art of culture, through the art of culture and language, so that people can again reconnect to their culture, to indigenous ways of doing things. Yeah, because you realize that there has been a gap created by the conventional thinking of money, thinking about money. People tilling the whole land to cultivate and get money, and using all those kind of chemicals to get money, to spray and produce, we have had a successful movement. I think it is on YouTube, where we have influenced the district to enact a bylaw ordinance against the use of chemicals in the district. And this one, we started it with the leaders of Milambi sub-county, then later the district council adopted it because we had invited the district councillors in this meeting. And we disseminated this information, how spraying chemicals in the gardens is dangerous to the people who consume the food stuff. And people had thought of this because they needed to get bigger yields. So these are the part of the issues we are trying to deal with. And we have realized how, for instance, climate action campaign can yield results. Yeah. From the report, I don't know whether the report is already shared.
Not yet. We were just arriving and chatting and waiting for you. But I have it ready to share. I can put the link in the chat right now.
Yeah, so from this we see that there's that method that the government normally use, like the blame game. People are poor because they are poor. That kind of thinking. People are poor because they are not active. So I have a background of permaculture, a background of adult and community education. And I believe that when people are mobilized, people are engaged, people are informed, using methods that work for them, not methods that work for the top-down method does not work for rural people, for poor people, actually. What we need is the bottom-up, sitting with the people, working with the people, listening to them and adopting their suggestions. So I've seen this one work in this climate action campaign, because imagine we delivered during the campaign, we delivered 500 plus seedlings people were able to take and plant.
And this was bamboo, is that right?
No, actually, in the district councillor was like, who represented the LOC5, the chairperson of the district, was like, we should also introduce bamboos, because what we gave is what we had. We had Griveria in our nursery as Peace Foundation. We gave them Griveria, and but the one that is most efficient is the bamboos for the river banks, and there are other species which we want to use for the river banks. And also we're thinking about the bativas. So also we may introduce also some eucalyptus. And this is why we are here. I'm happy that Ben, you've taken this up. I think if we realize some resources, we can start generating seedlings of bamboos and having them on board in the different rivers where the district has already done some mapping. I shared with the district environment officer during the process of mobilizing for this climate action campaign, and he gave me those watersheds where we need to put some action in the sub counties, and from this climate action campaign, the proposals came, suggestions came. Yeah, they are like, this is amazing, you know, reaching out to um to such a big number, 800 plus people, you know, in one day, and reaching information to them. Government and international NGOs would prefer to use the radio, which needs a lot of money, to use the TV, which needs to use a lot of money. But this art of cultural music and dance brings on board huge numbers of people because they want to listen to their culture. They want to get connected to their culture. And the messages which are passed through the cultural music and dance and drama, you know, they touch the heart much more than the TV and the like, the television and the like. So we really feel that if this model is adopted and replicated in other sub counties, I think the impact will be would be great. Yeah. So this is why we are like, we can look at opportunities for collaboration and opportunities for scaling up this. Yeah, for a better.
Yeah, well, there's so much alignment and resonance in everything you're saying with the kinds of things I hear from people all over the world about, you know, the value of permaculture and the need for things to emerge from the grassroots and to use arts and culture and the connection between climate and other challenges. I know you wanted to talk a bit about the challenge with plastic waste and other garbage. And then there's your connection with the indigenous people, the Batwa. Again, we see that all over the world, the power of indigenous people in particular as the leading, not only the leading source of resistance against the fossil fuel industry and other extractive activities, but also the source with their indigenous knowledge of the alternative ways to regenerate the land. So what you're doing there is completely in resonance with so much of the vision of co-creating a world that works for all. And it's so great that we get to meet you during the summit. And we're recording this, we'll share it, we'll share your report. I know you have some pictures and some live recordings from the climate action last week. I saw on one of the banners that the symbol for Extinction Rebellion. So you're connected to XR?
Yeah. So we have a local group here called XR Batwa and Grow Minority. So the XR Batwa and Grow Minority, they are part of the Peace Foundation, and we are like collaborating into this because we have, I should say, shared values when it comes to environment. We have shared values, and in doing this campaign, like you saw in the videos, there's where there's someone called Jera, and Jera, some blonde man, is a member of the XR Batwa, and the Peace Foundation also subscribes to XR Batwa vision and dream and the like. So I'm also part of the XR Batwa and the Grow Minority, because the Batwa, they are part of the Peace Foundation. When we go to the Peace Foundation Constitution, all the indigenous people here in Vundubujo, they are members. So we really have shared values. We are really one in terms of climate action, climate response, and all that.
Can we look at some of the video and the pictures that you've shared with me?
Pardon?
Shall I share my screen and we can look at some of the video and the pictures that you've shared?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So I think this is the Batwa gentleman here, right?
Yeah.
And this was before the climate action. You were speaking with him and some other people. Says today, while making finishing touches preparation for our climate action campaign, an action aimed at stimulating social action and environmental consciousness, as well as bringing to the leaders fundamental human rights, investment priorities of the Batwa people and other global minorities, an action that has attracted social and truthful attention towards the indigenous people, and the Batwa explaining their expression. And then there is a recording of him speaking in their native language. Should we listen to it? It's just to hear the language.
Yeah.
Imbaha Nintendo obukwesira dani obukwese tukusia gayo bilobini tukaleka okulia mahere gato nanga abwa ogendi ngara muno ngamupaka babagemu bakusanga nayo baukukola kube
Culture kumaanisha kini?
Culture yaku ya watu.
So, maybe Robert.
Culture yatu yaku.
Ola na aluma na ngoma. Ama na bibotini gato.
Maybe Robert.
Yes. Are you talking to me, Mugisha Fred?
Yeah, Ben, I'll make a summary of what they are saying because they are raising issues of critical issues, like you have mentioned already, how their culture got distorted. They have mentioned how the game that's the conservation area, the park, which that was their home now. The government made it a national park, a conservation area. But they are saying once they go there, the government soldiers will shoot at them, the police will shoot at them. So they are not safe to go back to their indigenous home. They are raising issues of in the forest. In the forest, they had access to fish there. There are some rivers there. No fish now where they are staying. They had access to free firewood there. Now in the camp where they are struggling to get firewood. And they are mentioning issues of herbs, issues of art and craft, those materials for weaving, for making craft materials like bags, baskets, those craft shopping materials, which are environmentally friendly, Today, many people are shopping using polythene, plastic kavera. We call it kavera here. Yeah. So, but the best thing to use for shopping would be those bags made of materials from the forest,
right?
Which are biodecomposable.
Right.
I thought this would be important to mention. Yeah.
I remember I was in Kenya many years ago, and everyone had bags made of maybe it was jute or hemp called kikapu. Is that also in Uganda, the kikapu bags? Yeah.
Yeah. These are some are made from palm leaves. Palm leaves, something of that kind. You can put it in your arm here, and you buy putting things there. These are ideal. They are better than the ones which are being processed, being bought, and to spoil the soil.
Right. And they're beautiful too, what I remember.
So they are raising all these issues in that engagement, in that recording. I'm seeing they are mentioning those issues. They are mentioning issues of culture. So that's why in the climate action, we use it also the issue of cultural dance and drama, where they themselves are communicating important messages there. They are disseminating and they are attracting attention for people, huge numbers of people to come and listen. So I see this one as great. Yeah.
Shall we look at some more pictures now from the climate action?
Yeah, to make sense.
Okay. Makes sense. So this is where I saw the XR banner symbol right there.
Yeah.
Constructing environmental and indigenous knowledge and permaculture. Do you want to say anything about what we're seeing here? There's a recording of this too.
Yeah. Let me see. Basically here.
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't know if I shared the sound. Hold on.
Yeah. Maybe it can play.
I might have forgotten to share the sound. Hold 1 second. Oh yes, I did. Okay, here we go. And that was last Thursday. Thursday last week?
Yes, last Thursday, yes. Yeah.
We have
Can you hear me?
a minute and 2 minutes. Shall we watch this one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben,
that yes.
this is great. It's really wonderful. It looks new to me also.
Do you want to say something about what we just watched?
Yeah, basically the two videos. The first one was assembling the people. You saw how people were coming in, others climbing the top of a truck to see. I saw someone on top of a truck climbing to see the message. Yeah, but after they have come, I see this other one coming in with sensation messages that the trees are alive. Actually, they start with a drama showing how there are these machines for making timbers. Saying voo, 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 voo. Those machines for making timbers, they are mainly from China and all those other countries. In a day, they can cut like 100 trees.
Right.
In a day, in 1 day. But in 1 day, no one can plant 100 trees. So that's what is the message is in the song. But now you saw two trees being cut. That machine was cutting 2 trees and the trees were falling. But also that elder there was communicating that these trees they are cutting, they are the ones which are protecting water, which are responsible for food, which are responsible for the environment. So when they cut the tree, it's like a home where there is no mother. That's the message in the song. When a home here in our culture, the mother is better than the father in terms of food survival. If the mother is not there, you'll see every children very not happy. You know that the mother has gone either to the market or has gone somewhere. The mother is missing. No child will smile. So the song says that if the trees are being cut, the mother is not there now. No one should smile because trees are not there. And the song goes on to disseminate messages that we should all plant trees. We should all. You saw the trees being raised somewhere also. They are showing people now the right direction. What is the way forward? The song is communicating message about the way forward. And once you heard when the man was saying Vitinima, that folk song, it was asking for people to respond, and the people in the background were also responding. Yes, so it was asking like a question, and people could respond, meaning that people understand that trees have certain values. So it was even asking the role of the trees, and people were responding. The audience was responding, that kind of thing, which is also in the sense of participation and real enthusiasm.
Right. We have some more, I think, pictures and short videos. Shall we keep going?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. I think it makes sense. Yeah.
So it's a little hard. This one is a bit small. Maybe I can zoom in. Here we go.
Yeah. Great.
We can't read this side.
So this one basically we're assembling to start our campaign, to start walking along the streets. So we gave instructions. Because in most cases for these campaigns and demonstrations, the police comes in to stop crowds, to stop crowding and all that. So this was more of a peaceful campaign. There was no violence, and we did briefing, and because even the other week I'd met the police, I'd met the district police commander, I'd told him about what we are doing. He said, Fred, what you are doing is really very good. And what's amazing is that the police wants us to start engaging them in this campaign of climate action. They want to start working with us, especially the Sports for Nature. We have a program called Sports for Nature program as Peace Foundation, where we organize some soccer sports.
Right.
Then when people come to watch the football, we disseminate messages on environment, and we draw a community action plan that in this community, there's this issue here, we're going to solve it in this way. What are you going to contribute? Community members are saying, for us, we have land, we can plant trees, we can participate in maybe garbage collection, something of that kind. So, yeah, the police is already motivated by what we are doing. It makes sense, yeah. So that was the whole idea of the briefing, so that we do our thing in an organized way.
And now here's
so this picture here, that gentleman is communicating important messages on environment, yeah. And Ben,
yes,
Ben, you see the microphone and the public address system.
Yes.
Yeah. So the support you provided the other day went on this one. What is having, because during the community engagement preparation for the activity, there is an issue that, Fred, how are you going to talk to big numbers of people when you do the way we are seeing your activity may bring many people on board? Do you have a public address system? I said no. So that's why I was like, we need a public address system to do this. And you can see I couldn't manage to talk to this big number of people using the mouth.
Wow.
So this is your contribution, yeah. It helped us to hire this and makes more sense, yeah.
I'm so glad to have been able to offer a little bit of support, Yeah. And maybe part of what we can do here and going forward is to see if we can get more money for you to continue this beautiful work.
Yeah. And we are thinking maybe we need to buy these to buy our own instead of hiring. We need to buy like 2 for the such that because this is rechargeable. When the battery goes off, we can put on the other one, another one, so we can like secure two, and then we know that we can start moving, making it a serious campaign. And also we invest in tree seedlings, we invest in community like change agents, people to in the communities to work with us, and like So these are the trees which have been cut now by this man. He needs timbers. So from the person making his money is cutting down the trees, but the trees, we have said that trees, it is life. Trees are the mothers of the home. So
the people represent, each of these men represent a tree that has been cut.
Yeah, they are representing trees. Yeah. So when the trees are falling down, you can see the leaves, and this man who's cutting them. So everyone is seeing what it means by cutting down the trees, and they are familiar with the sound of the machine. Vroom, 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 vroom. They know that in the community it means that machine. That's the sound of the machine which cuts down trees. Yeah. Yeah. So we also had some fellowship, some eating together, and even those people who came, we gave them water, we gave them some food. We collaborated with the restaurant, and people were going to the restaurant in bits. I couldn't take everyone's picture because my phone also had battery problem. I used the phone to capture some of this. Yeah, so it was really amazing. China has a forest right now. Simply, now the issue with China is that China is now using every opportunity to get money, and they are teaching us also. China is teaching people here that money is better than life. So they have no trees here, but they're exploiting the trees which are there. They're exploiting the ignorance. They are taking advantage of the ignorance of our people here to use them to make life harder in the future.
We have connections with a gentleman in Ghana also doing permaculture based work and training. And he said in the surrounding territories where he is, there's been a land grab by the Chinese, and the local chiefs gave their land away for very small amounts of money because they needed to feed their people and didn't understand the deals. They were cheated by the Chinese, and he attempted to try to block this and got some violent resistance from the government.
Ben, I want to tell you that our government here is corrupt, and the Chinese use that state of the government to manipulate the government and allow whatever the Chinese want to do. See that? So it's from that background that we really feel like we should, through permaculture, we should raise consciousness of the people.
Yeah.
We should do permaculture that, because people are coming together, people are coming together, they are self-motivated, but also there we can start raising that consciousness, like telling them, why should the Chinese, anyway, I don't know, I should say Chinese anyway, why should someone else tell you to act against your future, So the permaculture we do, the designs we do, if we can have these demonstrations in every community, people start looking at abundance, food, like mushroom, everything, starting just from within the compound to the different zones of someone's land, depending on someone's supporting people to design, and even to support others to design well. I think through that, the issue of independence will come in, where people will not be able to listen or to allow that mindset of the Chinese, because they are able to survive. Here, they look at poverty. The Chinese take advantage of the poverty.
Yeah.
Take advantage of the conditions of the people,
And of course, it's not just right? The oil companies based in America and Europe have had terrible extractive impacts, and other industries. The whole global economy is designed to extract resources and labor for the benefit of the the wealthier people in mostly the global north, right? Or the wealthy people living in the south too. There's the north of the south. Yes.
Yeah.
So we see more pictures. I'm noticing the time as well. We have 15 minutes left. I can post all these so that other people can review them at their leisure. I see we have 5 more short videos, mostly very short. There's a lot about the plastic. Should we look a little bit at the plastic pollution?
Please, we can. Yeah, makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
And then maybe we want to keep some time to hear from the people on the call as well, and for you to share what your needs and requests are. So this is a recording of the district councilor. Should we watch
My
him?
name is Mugisha Moses.
Should we watch him, or I skip?
Yeah, we can.
He talks about planting trees, I think, here on bamboo. This is where he talks about bamboo.
I am here
Okay, so we can go to plastic.
in Uganda and the entire district over this campaign that is initiated by Peace Foundation for the support the you have expended for us, more especially giving us the trees to plant in our communities. We appreciate this venture, and we are going to embrace it. We are reducing the climatic challenges. It is a campaign that will be taken by everyone, right away from the home up to our communities. Everyone must plant a tree. Everyone must care for a tree. Everyone must think of a tree if we are to live today, tomorrow, and the other time. We appreciate you, and should you be in position to provide, kindly, we impress you to come on the ground. Bamboo trees, other methods that we can use to mitigate the challenges, especially flooding at the riverbanks. We can plant them there. If they are there, we can also plant. But we shall plant each type of tree for us to thrive in this community. We thank you so much.
Yeah.
My name is Valeria Seta, a member of the Peace Foundation in Bundubuge district, and as members of the Peace Foundation in this district, we are very much concerned with the environment. And as you can see, this garbage with plastic materials and other types of poison goes directly to the water bodies that flow down into the river Sem. When it rains, this garbage goes into the water bodies and flows into River Semliki, which River Semliki flows into Lake Albert, therefore endangering our future. We call upon all the concerned stakeholders to take concern. Otherwise, our future is being endangered, and we are very much worried. And it is as if nobody is minding. Thank you very much. This is a global concern. Please come to our rescue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ben.
Yes.
The bathroom.
Nope. Uh-oh. We had such a good connection. We've lost you. Maybe turn off your video. That might help. Yeah, I think I can. Oh, I think we lost him altogether. Well, shall we oh, he's
Yeah,
back.
He's back.
I'm back. Yeah, I was saying that our country is moving into urbanization, which is coming with other challenges of urbanization that the local governments are not prepared to, to manage. So we are thinking about how we can um, bring it to the attention of like the public, the leaders, so that because what's happening here, if it's not mitigated, it wanna be a big crisis issue. You've heard Jera is talking about endangering our future, but it's not only about our future; it's also about the biodiversities. In the water, there are many living organisms there. Anyway, as human beings, we look at ourselves only, but life is not about ourselves only. There are other elements which make our life thrive, continue. So, if, for instance, the biodiversity is in the water, life below water, if these other living organisms below water, if they are not there, our life will also not be fine. Because the way they are contributing in terms of the ecosystem in the water. So when these plastic, these chemicals, all those stuff go to the water, it is seriously risky, not only for us, but also for those living organisms in the water. So we are thinking maybe that we have started these climate action campaigns, maybe with time we can organize and thought of a symposium to discuss and showcase these pictures, because leaders know that this is happening, but they have not gone down on the ground to see these ones where they're happening from. Like the district environment officer, when I showed him some of these pictures, he was like, Fred, are you sure you have reached all that far down on the ground? Because there are areas where they know that this area is hit by landslides and people are being displaced. But the government people, to reach there, they will need fuel. They need the land cruisers to be filled with the food tank. They need allowances, A distance where I would use maybe $10 or $5. The government people and maybe people in international NGOs would need to use maybe 1,000, maybe $500, So because of logistics, fuel, allowance. So, but what now we are looking at, maybe if we can have a symposium disseminating these issues in terms of the state of the environment, I have pictures of the floods, pictures of the riverbanks, pictures of the lakeside, and even the mountains where the landslides are hitting. Then discussing and coming up with concrete sort of white paper, what can be done? This and this is happening in the district. Can we have a white paper for the district, and we see how this white paper is being implemented for 5 years, for instance, so that maybe the sub-county can start planning to implement some of the issues in the white paper, some of the recommendations in the white paper, which we have agreed. This would mean a 2 days kind of meeting where the MPs can be part of this, the members of parliament. I feel like there is no reason to doubt inviting them as Peace Foundation, because others already know that Peace Foundation is doing some actions. Yeah, they are already aware. So inviting them for a 2 days kind of conference in the name of a symposium, and inviting some people, even online people, like the way we have this summit, we can organize. Then we have a Zoom discussion where experts from this summit can talk about these issues, because these issues, much as they are in a local context, but they are global. Yes, landslides have happened elsewhere, and some actions maybe have been taken in other countries, like maybe in India, you know. So, such a symposium would target decision makers, would target the leaders, would target those people who make budgeting, so that there's that thinking, that mindset to allocate maybe more budget to the environment sector. Because in Uganda, one of the sectors that have small funding is the sector of environment. Is the sector of environment. And the sectors with huge funding when it comes to, and who have a lot of money to spend on their issues, it is the security, the defense, it is the works, that's road construction. Yeah, why? They have companies, Chinese companies, which are doing the construction, and they have a lot of deals, and you know, they give a lot of money to the company, and that a lot of money, some goes back to certain individuals in governments, you know. So but works again, it is interesting anyway. Works again, even security again, it is meant to benefit the people. People can only benefit from the good roads, from the security, if they have livelihood means, if they have access to food, if they have food security, if they are having nutrition. Someone cannot be in a health center, is admitted on hospital, children are malnourished. Actually, there's a report for Uganda says that at least 5 children, that's at the national level, 5 to 15 children die per day of malnutrition. But in rural areas where food insecurity is a big challenge, it's more than that. And some of the cases are not reported, you know. But people who are having health issues cannot benefit from good roads.
Right.
Someone is hungry, is sleeping hungry, is the children are malnourished, they are having stunted growth. They will not benefit from the security, from the biggest budget of the security. So now it raises the mind, the attention to ask questions like, the big funding to security is to benefit who? Is it to benefit these rural people who are even not protected because they don't have any protected water, you know? like you saw the pygmies, they were raising issues of firewood in the forest. Security can shoot at them. Now, are they protected by the big funding by going to the security ministry when it comes? Because this is also money that is borrowed from the World Bank, which will be paid over time. Uganda keeps having loans, taxes. But these taxes are benefiting who? Are they targeting the other Batwa man who was saying that they are no longer eating fish? They are no longer having firewood. They are no longer having their herbs and vegetables from the forest. And we are putting a lot of money for the security to protect them or to protect someone else. So if we are to work for these rural people, I think we can work with them through these small projects, the permaculture, And also these campaigns, like I'm talking about a symposium. A symposium may take like Ugandan money. If we invite those people in Kampala, like some MPs, it can cost us like 13 million for maybe like 2 days to have that good conference, 13 million or 14 Ugandan shillings. So and it can cause some serious impact and some commitments, because knowing that the environment is having small budget or limited budget as a sector, raising this awareness and attracting attention of these people who do the budgeting, the district leaders and the MOPs. Maybe in the next 5 years, it can cause some small change, especially now on the ground in sub-counties and communities.
The 30 million Uganda shillings, that's about $8,000, I see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you think the symposium could be run for about that much money? Yeah.
Yeah. So if now, if $8,000 can pave a way to a bigger thing, to a bigger impact for the environment. And me, when we organize it, I would love people from platforms like this to discuss, to share with the leaders about this, to showcase the situations and take topics. Yeah, take topics and people can listen. After all, maybe we shall have acquired our own public address system and speakers. I can zoom the discussion and you can have a bigger screen for everyone to see. Yeah, can make sense.
Yeah. So we have come to the end of the hour that we scheduled. I'm certainly able to stay longer, and if others can too, I don't know. Is there anyone who has to, who you'd like to leave right away? Perhaps perhaps people want to say a word or two before they go. And we can stay connected, this invitation is on the map as well. And if you haven't connected yourself through the map to the invitation, if you do that, it makes it much easier for us to stay connected and know who is interested in supporting this work going forward. So the point of this call is not that everything happens on this call, but just that we begin to get more connected with the work that Mugisha Fred is doing and the Peace Foundation. I think there are lots of groups we might connect with you there in the general region as well as in Uganda. So that's one thing. We could try to raise some money beyond the small amount that you received for the action. Other things. So is there anyone who wants to speak briefly before we as we wrap up the hour?
Yeah, I'll just speak briefly. I through a bunch of stuff in the chat. This is not related to $8,000 for a summit. It's more related to how many ways can the convergent, combination of indigenous knowledge go with what's going on in the world in terms of other companies that are like What If Foods has been doing, and I interviewed them, so I put the interview in the chat. But they are working with situations much like yours and the indigenous people to find food sources that are high protein, and they come from the forest. They come from the tropical, from your local environment. So they are doing that, commercializing these products so that we have some better alternatives, not just locally, but also globally. So I can put you in touch with Christopher for a discussion if that's timely. I mean, the environment you're in is exceptionally complex between government corruption, which is not fixable by removing the corrupt people because the whole system is designed to be corrupt. So it's really working around that. But anyway, I have a colleague who's been doing some interesting research work in that area. I don't think that's immediately useful to you. So I won't, but certainly the work that What If Foods is doing is useful directly, and just let me know if that's, helpful. And that's it. I'll sign off. I've got a podcast to publish, so.
Anyone else who needs to leave right away and wants to
Thank you.
say something?
Great work you're doing.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Francois.
Well, I have to leave. I have to leave too. But first of all, I just wanted to thank. Sorry,
Fred.
Fred. Yes, of course. I wanted to thank Fred for presenting all this information, which was really really great. I really appreciate it. I'm personally not that knowledgeable in the specifics, and so it's in the specifics. I'm quite aware of similar sort of endeavors that are taking place in the Amazon in South America, and again, it's about it's about the restoration of the natural habitat and so on, and so many things you talked about. So I'm interested in your suggestion of a symposium. I just wanted to ask though, are you talking about a symposium that goes across regions, or are you talking about a symposium just in your region? In which case I would wonder why you would do that online rather than offline. But so I suspect you're thinking of cross-fertilizing similar endeavors around, well, at least maybe in Africa, maybe the whole world, I don't know, but I'm just curious.
Yeah. maybe I can answer this.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe I can answer this. Maybe a quick one. Now, of course, to depend on the capacity in terms of finance, because if we have resources, we can, and the digital technology, we can make it a bigger one. And if we don't have the capacity and the technology to do it, then we can have a micro one where we're having a conference like at the district, in the district community hall. We invite the members of parliament from the district, we invite the district leaders, we invite the civil society organizations, and we also map and identify like 7 experts to come and discuss different topics that relate to issues on the ground. From that, like Peace Foundation can present the state of environment report, a report to showcase some of the issues that are justifying this symposium. And from that, the different prayer, we can have a keynote speaker. A keynote speaker can give the overall situation and the roadmap. We can have a keynote speaker, then we can have other specific speakers, and someone talk about the wrap up and coming up with an sort of action plan. Then also on the next, and maybe extracting issues for recommendation, which can be signed the next day in form of a breakfast meeting. And in that breakfast meeting, the next day we can have the few people, like the district speaker and maybe the members of parliament, maybe a team of like 7 or 11 to sign a white paper, sort of an outcome of this symposium. Yeah, so if we have to make it wider, then of course we can even use the radio stations. We can have this online, this live streaming and the like, so that even Ben could put it online here, and so that many people can join in. Maybe if this platform is still going on, we can have it online. And
we will have these tools. Yes, we don't know about when the next summit might be organized. A number of people on this call are interested in doing that. But even between now and whenever that happens, these tools are available to us. The Kiko chat space, some Zoom lines, the calendar, the map, all of that we expect.
Yeah.
An email listserv too. So we have a lot of tools, and we have a lot of connections. I know I do, and other groups I'm connected to in Uganda, in Kenya as well, quite a bit. We've heard Ghana is not close, but we have connections there that might be relevant, and maybe having the world watch an event like this matters. To your point, Francois, even if it is local or regional, to say the world is paying attention to this. We understand that what happens there, as Lilla Watson, the Aboriginal woman, famously said, if you're coming to help us, you're wasting your time. But if you're coming because you recognize your liberation is bound up with ours, let us work together, right? So what is happening in Uganda is completely connected to things that are happening in the UK and in the United States and in China and other places. And that's part of our vision with this summit, is to understand those interconnections. I'm wondering if we want to hear from Braden. You started to speak, and Amber as well. We have a little time.
Sure. Yeah, everyone is highlighting these really good points about the interconnectedness of all people and in the system that we're in, and that fundamental interconnection is often just ignored in mainstream Western dominated cultures. And I think I really love what Donna was talking about earlier about when the system is designed to be corrupt, you can't rely on the system that it currently exists. And one thing that Amber and I are doing in our work, where we might be able to work together, Fred, is we're trying to look at ways to empower communities through an alternative system that is co-created by those communities. So instead of having, something that is imposed on another group of people, how can communities that are, struggling to operate and exist in the existing system come together and work, create something that works for them and mobilize the resources that are shared between all the people who are interested in making progress in this way and moving past the existing systems and changing the existing systems. So, and especially Indigenous culture, and learning from the insights of it that Indigenous cultures can that have about how this could be possible, using new frames of mind, new mental models that many Westerners just aren't really aware of. There's so much knowledge that we would be able to use together to craft this new system if we all contribute that knowledge. So it's definitely it's great to hear about all of the effort that you're already doing, and we would love to be able to use our resources to support that.
Right. Yeah.
Amber, did you want to add anything to that?
No.
You're muted.
Sorry, my screen, I have two screens. My mouse is stuck on the other one, and when you panic, and then you're like, sorry about that. But all I can do is I think echo exactly what Braden said, and actually maybe even ask how you see from your side the hand reaching towards people over here in terms of what is the invite from you to us, out of like curiosity for, I guess, the message, because I find that I'm constantly in an environment where
Amber, that thing has happened again with your microphone. You started out good, and then all of a sudden it sounds like you're inside a tin can.
Okay, I turned it off. Maybe this works.
Yeah.
A little better. If you can speak up a bit too.
Speak up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be really loud.
That's good. Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I think my question is that I feel like the environment here, when they think about climate, when they think about, all the things that are going on in other parts of the world, it's just guilt laden, but it doesn't necessarily change anybody's choices, or maybe it does, but just slightly. And I'm curious kind of, and you don't maybe need to have the answer now, but
like for us here, trying to attract people. I don't know. I think I have a hard time with finding the right words personally. To maybe this is just more of a question to the room, not just to Fred, but I think it's yeah, that's the thing I think that I kind of came out like thinking of the most, which is probably a whole totally different conversation. But I think hearing the echo of what you said and in places I've worked as well, it's so deeply important. And I think, yeah, I hope that we can find those words. That was all I had.
No.
Yeah.
But it was really cool
to find them today.
I wrote a lot of notes. And thank you
I
so
can
much.
confirm there are a lot of notes. we had a joint pictures, everything. So
but yeah, I know that wasn't probably easy, but thank you so much for taking the time to explain it all and to give us deep insight into what's going on there. It is really helpful, and I think the more you're able to do this, the more power it has. I can't replace you for sure, no way.
Of course. Well, I'm committed to staying connected with Fred and seeing how we can build upon just what is, a small start here.
Yeah.
But do you have any last words for us maybe on this call, Mugisha Fred, and then we'll move on to other things.
Yeah, thank you all. One good thing I think coming up is the issue of keeping connected, and then the other issue from the climate action campaign is the issue that should make us keep connected. Like there's an emerging issue that we need to scale up this to expand what we are doing, to continue what we are doing. So all this will depend on how we keep connected, we keep supporting each other, and we realize that environment, climate issues, they are global issues, and therefore need global solutions. Needs global solutions. We cannot address them in isolation of others, both in terms of finance, but also in terms of knowledge, experience sharing. Yeah, knowledge and experience sharing. So I would say that for instance, I think Ben, you have a picture of the budget that we used for this climate action lesson 3. You have,
yeah.
There's that I shared with you, which was showing what we had already secured, what we already had a group, and what was missing. So when you add up this, I think it does not come to 5 million Ugandan shillings. I think if anything, it is maybe 5 million Ugandan shillings, which could be maybe 5 million could be like is it like
$1,000, something like that. Maybe $1,300. Yeah.
Like how much?
I think maybe $1,300. I did upload that here. I have it. I have the document here, and I think I shared it as a research. Oh no, this was I have this. It was the schedule of the event, not the budget.
Yeah. So, but I think
I remember it was something. It was less than $2,000. It was $1,000 and maybe a bit more.
Yeah. So I think if we have like $2,000 Ugandan shillings, we can do one more climate action campaign in another sub-county. So I think $2,000 we can see how we can fit within that. So, and areas affected by this, they are like around 11 sub-counties, and we have so far worked in one. So if we can continue like this, like Ben already said in the beginning, it would make more sense.
We lose him.
I think we've lost him again. Well, he's still on. Technically, Zoom has him on the call, but he's frozen.
Do you know
we were
if it's
talking.
reached out to like some of the innovation networks that help foundations and networks?
Yeah, I don't know what his prior fundraising efforts he's made, and I don't know if he's got any ties to nonprofit organizations in the United States or the UK that people could contribute to, that could route the money there. I sent him $150 through Western Union, just to him personally, to support that climate campaign.
Oh, that was the microphone?
That was the microphone and the PA system, and the food, I think, too. They fed people at a local restaurant.
Yeah, wow.
Some other things. But the budget, the desired budget was quite a bit more. The symposium.
Do you know why he said that he specifically noted wanting 7 expats to talk to the government?
Yeah, I know. That's the first time. This is the first time I heard him talk about the symposium idea too, which is very interesting. I have a colleague here in Massachusetts, Suzanne Bowles, who just organized a global gathering, Indigenous leadership focused in Uganda. And I have another colleague, Fyodor Ovchinnikov, who's been nominally part of the summit. Well, you met Fyodor.
Yeah, I did.
Braden, he was with us in DC, and he had just gotten back from Uganda and Kenya. He's got someone he's working with quite actively in Uganda. I mean, I'm not sure that it's this, how close it is to where Mugisha Fred is. And then there's another group up in actually 2 different groups in the Nakivale refugee camp, which I gather is not close, but still in Uganda, that we have connections with. There's a woman in Kenya who's working with vetiver grass, which I think he mentioned at the beginning, which is a really excellent tool for stabilizing the soil and sequestering carbon, grows quickly, is native to the area. So there are a lot of connections we can make. Can we resource this work effectively when we're not even resourcing our own work with the summit yet very well? That's an open question, but it's exactly the sort of thing when, I was imagining we could support when I spoke yesterday about saying, let's gather money that mostly goes back out to projects. And, here's some very small local or regional thing. Fred was so excited to make the connection. So my sense is he hasn't managed to make a lot of connections to the global north to date, and I think
it says a lot that one of the things that he asked for was for foreigners to talk to the government, because it seems like that seems to be the only way to get the government to do something. And that's it really does frustrate me that that is now the system that they find themselves operating in. And it's just I totally feel like, we should be able to leverage our resources collectively to be able to circumnavigate that and just completely avoid that altogether. How can Fred and the Indigenous people empower, we can help to lift them up without, and give them the power to create their own environment, give them the power to clean it up on their own.
Well,
and
he's doing, it seems that he's building a lot of capacity to do that, right? But it does require some funding, and there is the larger global systemic issue that he's embedded in, like we all are. I think it's local to regional to national to global, all kind of linking all the scales, right? Is what we see in the complexity of this.
Is Uganda the only country, or there are many countries that have this tie to China?
Oh, it's happening all around the world, and a lot in Africa. As I mentioned earlier, we know someone in Ghana through the Kofundiko community who was facing this, in the tribal areas where he is.
Isn't it also a debt entrapment type thing where the Chinese government is like doing all these projects and then becoming like the governments are becoming like indebted so that then they have
and the World Bank and the IMF and all that too. It's not just China that's doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, my AI just dropped out.
I mean, he also brought up the World Bank, actually.
Yeah, he did.
As
So I need to move on anyway here. There's a call with the Global Regeneration Collab I want to drop in on and eat lunch, and I think we made a good start anyway, and it was good. Thank you both for showing up.
Yeah, thank you for inviting.
Yeah, thanks for
we have a
connecting.
call scheduled, Braden, for Friday, is it, or
Yeah. Would you want maybe
Oh.
Amber could join as well?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Yeah.
You have the link, right?
I can just add Amber to the call. I didn't know if
I think you organized it, right? So actually,
yeah, no, I can just invite
you've
her.
got
I
it,
just
yeah.
wanted to make sure that was okay with you.
Of course.
Cool.
It's crazy. You remind me, and I don't know if it's your general look of my mentor in uni so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a professor. Actually, he did his most of his work in Senegal, but it's funny how very similar.
Has anyone ever tell you you give off like Robin Williams vibes?
No. Never.
You see it, don't you?
Yeah, now that I've gained some weight, in my mind, I think of myself as a lot less stout than him, and the beard is only since COVID. But I like it. It reminds me of my father. But anyway, my wife wants me to shave it off, but I've resisted. All right. Well, to be continued in many ways. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, and thanks for organizing.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Yeah.